Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this the Newsbeat presented to you by Ladies Like. Follow the beat from the studio to the street. Info with the flow keeps you sharp and in the know. Sit back, relax, enjoy the news. Follow. Africa has an entrepreneurial culture and youth with potential, but to be successful on the continent, patience and perseverance are essential. As most African youth receive no form of government assistance to finance an idea or start up a business. Anna Fossa, often referred to as a celebrity pig farmer, is one of Africa's big farming frontrunners. She was introduced to the business by a close friend in 2004, and with a $100 saving, she started a farm with 4 pigs in Soweto. The African pig farmer's breakthrough came in 2008 when she was contracted to supply 10 pigs per week in South Africa's Pick and Pay supermarket. In 2010, Anna was contracted to supply 100 pigs per week over the next 5 years. The supermarket chain's deal was estimated to be worth $2.5 million. ABSA Bank and USAID collectively gave Anna the much-needed funds, and she proceeded to acquire a 350-hectare piece of farmland, and she can now rear about 4,000 pigs at a time and deliver on demand. Many successful African entrepreneurs started small, and through hard work and focus, they managed to achieve their goals. Xenophobia plagues hit South Africa. Our reporter Oki Forever is here with more.
South Africa has experienced a number of anti-immigrant protests over the years, with incensed South African mobs attacking and killing scores of foreigners. Many South Africans accuse the immigrants of taking their job opportunities and promoting crimes amongst their local communities. Consequently, last week's protest against immigrants in the Rainbow Nation led to violence, looting and escalation of tension. The consequent attacks on South Africans and nationals were carried out on a pretext of targeting drug dealers and brothels. Although immigrants from several countries were affected by the resultant violence in Pretoria, the most affected foreigners were the immigrants from Nigeria. However, the Nigerians reportedly took up arms in self-defense. The police was also deployed to end the standoff between the foreigners and the local citizens. There was a counter-response in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, following the xenophobic acts of South African demonstrators, as the shop owned by South Africa's telecom giant MTN was vandalized and looted by Nigerian protesters. Losses were also recorded by Shoprite, South Africa's leading retailer, which dominates every retail market in almost every state in Nigeria. However, Amnesty International said that South Africa's government encouraged the anti-immigrant sentiment since 2008 by failing to arrest the perpetrators and the messengers of hate. And although President Jacob Zuma condemned the violence, he insisted that the citizens were not out of line because they were not xenophobic but rather fed up of crime. I'm Oki Forever, reporting for Newsbeat.
Thank you, Oki Forever, for that report. The hair revolution is here in Uganda. Our reporter MC Loy is here with the details.
The history of hair is a complicated one culture and ceremonial. Hair today is mostly fashion, but for some women, hair is also a political weapon, fighting culture imperialism and taking pride in what it really means to be black and beautiful. Hair cells connecting our ancestral souls rather than copying Caucasian looks. We must remember our African roots. For Ugandan artists are pushing for a more thorough conversation between black women of all ages, meeting in space free of condemnation. The space is called the Saloni, a roving pop-up art installation, a mix of photography, film and illustrations, and a place for free hairstyles, exchange and new hair resolutions. It has already been shown in Uganda, Kenya and Ghana, and soon will be going to London. Newsbeat salutes the Saloon projects for members. Kampere Bahana, Darlene Kamukama, Gloria Wapamuno and Aida Nambi, fighting for black women to be proud of their natural beauty and free them from oppression and insecurity. I'm MC Loy, reporting for Newsbeat.
Thank you, MC Loy, for that report. What makes people happy? I don't know, maybe lots of money. Well, there's a survey that says otherwise. Happy people don't fetch the highest price. They don't need salaries over 6 figures or live in places with good infrastructure. Experts over 100 nationalities rated the best 17 countries. The top 5 include Costa Rica, Philippines, Ecuador, Mexico and Malta. They were joined on the list by Uganda, which was on the top of the destination according to the rankings by the Internations, a network of experts abroad that ranked countries around the globe. Uganda was rated 12 of 17 countries by 14,000 people living overseas. It was ranked the best choice in Africa. The only other African nation was Kenya. Why are foreigners so happy with Uganda? It's a place marked with stability and potential for prosperity. Uganda is an attractive country with emerging market and opportunities. The question is, how do Ugandans feel? Who knows if the situation is ideal? Let's hope the citizens see the same appeal. That was the news on the beat. Next week will be another hit. Still Ladies Like, reporting live and direct with love and respect. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Follow the beat.
Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the